Hi Scorpio, how are y'all doing? This is going to be your March 2021 tarot reading. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returner, welcome back. I'm Sarah, this is Cancer Capricorn Guidance, and I'm here to bring you love, light, and guidance through tarot, astrology, and spirituality. Before we get started, in my description box you can find my email. I am open to doing personal reading bookings, so if you would like to book a session with me, just reach out to me via email and we can set something up. You can also follow my Instagram. I linked my Instagram down below. I will be doing an announcement this month, so check out Instagram to see that announcement. I also have some Spotify playlists linked in the description box, including my March playlist, so feel free to check out those. You can also find my PayPal link if you would like to donate to this channel. It would mean so much to me. So Scorpio, I'm really excited because I have a brand new deck that I'm going to be using in future readings. This is the Neon Moon Tarot deck. It's by a seller on Etsy. I will link that in the description box in case you are interested in purchasing that. I will also link the I Am Everything Oracle deck that I always use. Also, my friend Hannah drew these lovely tarot card digital drawings behind me. I linked her Etsy shop and Instagram down below if you're curious about her work. But I'm really excited to have another deck. It's just more cards to use. I can build bigger spreads. It'll be really interesting and fun. But I'm going to start with the I Am Everything Oracle because I love starting with those. All right. Scorpio. Any first messages here for Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, whatever placements you may have in your chart, whatever energy you've been vibing with lately. These messages are for Scorpio for March 2021. Any messages for Scorpio? Any first messages here for Scorpio? I just got a strong message that your cross-watcher, Scorpio's cross-watchers are watching this. I feel like people are watching your tarot reading, Scorpio. That's interesting. Any first messages here for Scorpio? Any messages for Scorpio? I am transformed. The number 22. I love that number. I see the beauty of change. Everything I have been through transformed me into who I am today. I am so much braver. I am so much more caring. I am so much more emotionally intelligent. I am so much more open. I will continue changing and improving. I am transformed. Scorpio, that's really beautiful energy. I feel like that's been a common theme for a lot of the water sign readings for the last few months, but like specifically Cancer and Scorpio. Scorpio, you've been through a lot of change. And I think you're finally starting to recognize how much you've been through and how it's made you who you are. I think you're starting to take a lot of pride in the changes you've been through and how you've transformed. Scorpios are all about that death and rebirth, Pluto 8th house transformation. I think you're finally recognizing how important it is to change because Scorpios, as a fixed sign, you're a little bit resistant to change. And you can really get really comfortable in the flow of things, in the consistency and the routine of things and just how things are. And sometimes change is really difficult for you because not only are you a fixed sign, so it's hard for you, but you take it very emotionally and you bury it very deeply in a way that's like, you just really want something to hold on to. But I think the fact that you've gone through so much huge transformational change in the last few months or year or whatever has made you a lot more emotionally strong. It's given you a lot more emotional depth. And I think you're recognizing the power and the beauty of that and not so much, oh my God, there's so much change. This shit sucks. It's really hard for me to emotionally process this. I think you're realizing how much strength it's giving you because you finally are coming out on the other side of this emotional processing. I feel like for a long time you were just so upset and distraught about the changes, but now you're learning to embrace them, or at least learning to embrace the new version of yourself that has come out of these big transformations. You're starting to see the value in transformation and how change is a necessary part of life. Let's get your reading, Scorpio. See what comes up. I'm not really channeling anything. What the hell? I think for a long time you were very resistant and you did a lot of things that actually fucked up your progress and fucked up your ability to move forward. Now you're kind of like leaning into it and embracing the changes because you realize that they're helping you and they're making you grow stronger emotionally and mentally. I'm sensing a little bit of resistance. I'm feeling that. Resisting of the inevitable almost. Like you knew some of these changes were coming for a long time, but it was really hard for you to just embrace them and let them happen. You wanted to hold on to the past in some way. Alright, Scorpio, let's get into your reading. See what comes up. Any messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, whatever placements you may have in your chart, whatever energy you've been vibing with. These messages are for Scorpio for March 2021. Any messages for Scorpio for March 2021? Any messages for Scorpio? Knight of Pentacles. Any messages for Scorpio for March 2021? Any messages for Scorpio? I'm getting patience. I'm getting patience and like a readiness and an eagerness. Any messages for Scorpio for March 2021? Any messages for Scorpio? Any messages for Scorpio? I don't like taking that many. Any messages for Scorpio? Any messages for Scorpio? Any other messages for Scorpio here for March 2021? Scorpio, you don't feel like you're in control of your own life. It feels like there's a lot of patience and waiting here, waiting for certain things to come around. Things are moving slowly for sure. You don't feel confident in your ability to bring in the things that you want. You don't feel powerful enough to bring in the new. There's a sense of you are so transformed. You are so different than you were not very long ago. But there's still this like self-doubt and lack of confidence, lack of surety in your ability to bring in more change into your life, to bring in the positive changes. Maybe you know that you're transformed, but you're not seeing it in your external environment yet. With the Magician reverse as the overall energy, you're not seeing how much power you have. You're very not open to the idea that you actually have a lot of control and power over your life. You actually have a lot of say in what actions are taken in order to go after and get the things that you want and manifest the kind of reality that you want. It may just be that you're getting impatient, like you're trying to manifest something, but it's really not coming in for you. And I'm almost getting like, baby, it's here. It's already here. You just aren't realizing it. Like, what is this from? A quote just popped in my head. I think it's from a film, like an animated film. Something about like a fish is in the ocean, swimming, 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 and sees another fish and is like, I'm trying to get to the ocean. And the other fish is like, you're in the ocean. You're swimming in it right now. And the fish says, no, this isn't the ocean. This is just water. I feel like there's a sense of you not realizing how far you've come. You're kind of already living in the reality that you've been manifesting for a long time, or something that you manifested a long time ago is kind of starting to really take form in your life around you. And there's some part of you that's not seeing that. You're not opening your eyes to it. Because there's a sense of patience here. With the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, you are ready to put in the work. You're ready to take the time that's necessary to dedicate yourself to this. You are very dedicated. Scorpios are very dedicated people. I don't like the word loyal all the time because it has weird connotations, but I feel like you're a very dedicated person. Like, once you kind of commit to something, you're in it. You're in it and you want to be in it. And there's this sense of like, okay, if this is what it's going to take to put in the work, I'm going to go slow. I'm going to take it day by day. I'm going to take all the right steps. I'm going to make the right investments. I'm going to put my time and energy into this because I feel like it's worth it. Maybe this is you finally putting the time and energy into yourself or into the thing that you are trying to manifest. There's this confidence you have. You're like, okay, I'm moving a little bit slower. I'm being patient. I'm taking my time, but I feel confident about this. I feel like this is me stepping into my power a little bit. Me being able to have that self-control, that steadiness, that slowness is powerful, but there's still a sense of like, why isn't it coming in? Why isn't this thing that I've been trying to manifest appearing? I think you've been trying to manifest something and the results are here, the evidence is here that whatever it is you're manifesting, it's manifesting within you. It's some kind of change in yourself that's taking form or is already present, and you're not seeing that. I feel like you're a lot more of a patient, steady, capable, dedicated, confident person now, but you're not seeing that because there's a sense here with the moon, you're still in your feelings, you're still trying to uncover a lot of heavy or confusing emotions. There's a sense of illusion here where your own feelings about the situations is clouding the reality of the situation, where you're like, you put in all this work to manifest something and it's kind of already here, but your emotional self is saying, where is it? Where is it? I'm desperate for this. Like, I don't feel it yet. It doesn't feel right. There's a lot of like tough emotions that you still are struggling through. That's kind of messing with your ability to really remain confident in this. That's messing with you've come a long way. There's a lot of progress here that it's showing me. There's a lot of progress here. You really coming into form, coming into yourself. But there's still some heavy emotions that you're working through. And I think that they're clouding your ability to look at this reality the way that it is, that something here is already manifesting or it already has. You haven't realized yet. Your feelings about the situation may be clouding it. There may be still some heavy emotions that need to be kind of brought up and worked through. Because there's this sense here that something's not coming in fast enough. It's coming in too slowly. It's not happening. Something got delayed. You were waiting on something that never came in. You've been trying so hard to manifest something and it's not coming in. It's moving so slowly and you're sick of it. You're like, what the hell? I put in all this work. I've been so patient. I've been very dedicated. I'm taking it so slow. Why isn't it happening yet? I feel like I'm so confident and I'm going about this in the right way. I want it. I feel passionate about it. I have some mixed feelings. There's some stuff under the surface, but that's not important. I'm going after what I want. There's really a sense of patience and then impatience because it's not coming in. And I just feel like you're getting really down. You're questioning yourself. There's illusion here where you're questioning yourself. You're questioning your emotions. You're questioning your desires. You're like, is that something I can really rely on? Because you've become such a steady and patient and dedicated person working towards this, you're really focused on the pinnacle aspect of building something and not so much the emotional aspect and how you feel about it. You could be dealing with a Gemini, Virgo, or Pisces, I'm getting here. I feel like there's a part of you that's ignoring the emotional aspect and instead you're just choosing to work towards it and keep putting in your time and energy, but you're wondering why it hasn't come through. You're wondering why it's taking so long. And when you go into your emotional self a little bit, you start to get all up in your head about, that's it. The dream's done. It's over. Whatever it is that I really wanted, it's not going to happen. it's not going to come through for me. I just got to let it go. You're feeling very, very disappointed because something didn't come through. Something isn't manifesting or hasn't manifested. Something that you put a lot of time and energy and effort into. It's not like you just sat around and said, I want this, I'm going to manifest it. You actually put in the work. I'm really seeing that. But there's something here with how you feel about it. There's something here with emotional illusions that are making something not come in. It's like negative. It's like you've been so patient, and then all of a sudden you revert back to some old ways of like, oh, fuck this shit, it's not coming through, so I'm gonna give up on it. It was my dream, but now I'm disappointed and it didn't come in, and I'm just disappointed and upset, and so I just gotta let it go and get over it. And you like revert back to this old snarky way of looking at things. When you are patient and you put in all this time and then it still doesn't come through, you go back to, fuck this shit, I'm actually impatient and I don't want this, or, you know, I just gotta give up on this because it's not happening, so I gotta stop daydreaming and fantasizing and letting my own self down. There is a sense here of letting your own self down because you're not believing in the ability for this to come through. You have put in all this work and all this patience. I just feel like you need to keep holding on a little bit longer. There may be some need to kind of go inward a little bit and figure out how you really feel about the situation, because there could be some emotional illusions, like these old ways of thinking that are kind of affecting the way you think about the situation. It's like your old ways of being in a heightened emotional state, emotionally immature even, is kind of messing with your ability to stay on this path and just stay dedicated and keep making progress towards this. Keep manifesting, keep being patient, stay steady, stay dedicated. Don't give up on this yet. I just feel like your old emotional self is like, it's not happening. I just gotta let it go. You know, I'm disappointed and I don't want to be disappointed even more, so I'm just gonna let this shit go. But I just feel like that would be way too soon to be giving up on this. I feel like there's more to be done here, and it's coming sooner than you think. It's just, don't get impatient now. You've put in a lot of patience. I think that you should keep that patience up. I think it's coming. It's just that you can't let your own emotional self get in the way of staying dedicated to this. Maybe you need to clear up some emotional energy that's going to help you bring in this manifestation, because you need to make emotional space for this. Maybe there's some emotional healing that needs to be had. Maybe it's just you realizing that you're transformed and you're very different, and this thing already kind of is manifesting and you're not realizing it. You're not opening your eyes to that. Let's pull some clarification for you, Scorpio. Can I get a clarification for the Magician reverse here for Scorpio? The Six of Cups in reverse. There's some kind of emotional wounding from the past that's kind of blocking or preventing this new manifestation from coming in. That's kind of what I sense with the moon. There's this need to kind of heal a little bit of emotional stuff from the past. Maybe an emotional attachment from the past that you thought you've let go of, but you really haven't. Maybe you've been patiently waiting for something from the past to come back around and come back into your life, and it's just not going to happen, or it's not coming through for you. But I'm really sensing it's more that there's an emotional blockage that's not allowing something to come in. It's either like, how do I say this? It's either this emotional blockage that's not allowing this manifestation to come in, or it's an emotional blockage, an emotional wounding from the past that's blocking and not allowing you to see that this manifestation is already taking form, that this manifestation is already coming in or has come in. It's this emotional wounding from the past that needs to be healed in order for you to continue on this journey of manifesting all these new things for yourself. Can I get a clarification for the Knight of Pentacles here for Scorpio? Can I get a clarification for the Knight of Pentacles here for Scorpio? King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're really working towards or moving towards dedication because you want to become a lot more of a stable person. You want to become a lot more of a grounded and, excuse me, self-sufficient individual. You want to become successful. I think you want to become successful not just in the material sense where you want to be successful in your work and career life, but you want to be an all-around successful person. You want to really, I just heard like, you want to flex, not in a bad way, just show off how much you've changed, how strong and independent and stable you've become. And I think that stability, that general, like, I have my shit together, I'm self-sufficient, I'm taking care of myself, like, I have it all together. I think that's something that you're really, really working towards, and it's something you've been very dedicated to. And that's important, that's good. It's something that you really invested a lot of time and energy into, is just working on yourself, building yourself up, getting stable, getting steady, you know, really creating a lot of maybe just wealth for yourself so that you can be financially healthy and have what you need in the material world. But I'm also getting that it's just a sense of like, I want to be a self-sufficient adult. I want to create stability for myself. I want to be proud of how far I've come. And so I put in a lot of that nitty-gritty, everyday, little step-by-step work to get there. And you're still on that path. You're still getting there, but you've come a long way. Can I get a clarification for the Seven of Pentacles here for Scorpio? The Death reversed. There's almost a sense of putting so much time and energy into work and into working towards something almost to distract yourself from an inevitable ending, or like an ending that you're resisting, a transformation that you're resisting because you're waiting and waiting for something to happen, or you put a lot of time and energy and investment into trying to keep something from the past, trying to keep something from not ending, from not slipping away from you. It was really hard for you to let something go. I feel like you were holding on to something for a really long time. I feel like almost you've been trying so hard and working towards this stability for yourself, but it wasn't for yourself. It was for someone or something else. It was almost like a desperate attempt that, like, if I do this, if I get stable, if I get my shit together, this thing will happen for me, or this person will want me again, or this thing from the past won't have to change. It's some kind of ending or change that you're really resisting by putting a lot of time and energy into something, or even yourself. You're like, if I just work on myself a lot, then maybe things don't have to change so much. Maybe I can stay someone that I recognize. Maybe just transforming into someone new is just scary for you because you want to be someone that you always recognize. But sometimes change is hard and scary because we become someone completely new that we've never been before. And that can almost be scary. I feel like you were distracting yourself and trying to avoid some kind of ending with the effort you were putting into something, or you were avoiding an ending by waiting and waiting and waiting around for something to come back, or to not change, or for someone, so that something didn't have to be over. It's almost like you were putting in a lot of effort into becoming a better version of yourself for the wrong reasons, not for yourself. And maybe that's why something hasn't really manifested in the way that you wanted it to. It hasn't really appeared because you did it for the wrong reasons. Or you were manifesting something, and so you're working towards all these things, but that thing isn't manifesting because in reality you were just supposed to be doing those things and creating that stability for yourself and becoming that new person, not for someone to come back to you, not for any other reason, but to just change and become a better version of yourself. Like, that was the whole point, and I think that's something that you may be missing. Can I get a clarification for the Queen of Wands? Okay. The Star. Wow, Scorpio. Wow. There's this sense of like confidence in yourself and confidence in your ability to pull through and get this shit done and get your shit together and work towards your goals. Like, you're very motivated and passionate, confident in your ability to get there. And it's this sense of hope that's really pushing you forward. Despite you, there's this sense of you holding on to the past a little bit. There's still this like, okay, so if this is about like kind of waiting for something from the past to come back, or for someone to come back to you, or, you know, becoming a better, more stable version of yourself for the wrong reasons for something or someone else, it's like you almost had this like unbridled confidence in your ability that this person would come back, or this thing from the past would come back, or, you know, if you did this, something wouldn't change. It was like this fiery hope that you had that things would be okay, or that things didn't have to change, or that this person would come back. But it doesn't look like they are. It just looks like you've just been sitting around waiting, and that's really delayed a transformation process for you, or at least delayed your realization that it's already happening, or it already has happened. I think for a long time you may have been waiting for nothing to change, or for someone to come back, or for something to pass to come back, or whatever. And all this time you didn't even realize how much that you've changed, and that's why it's not coming back to you, because you're a different person now, and you were so hopeful that things didn't have to change, or that you would get back what you lost, or get back what you were so afraid of losing. But you're very different now. You put in all this work to become a different person for whatever reason, not realizing that you're a very different person. You're a lot more stable, and whatever it is you were trying to manifest isn't in alignment with you anymore, because you're a completely different person now. And you were so hell-bent on, you're so confident and hopeful, like so hopeful that things would work out the way that you wanted them to, but they're not going to, because you're very different now. And so whatever manifestation, it was coming, it's not coming in, because it was coming from a place of emotional wounding of the past. And now you've done all this work and become so stable and become so different, and the waiting around for has really delayed an ending, has really delayed a transformation process. The hope that something would come back to you has really delayed the full-on transformation. Like, the manifestation has come in a completely different form. Whatever you were manifesting, it's come in a very different form. Maybe you were manifesting like a certain kind of stability or happiness for yourself. You thought it involved a certain person, or it looked a certain way. It looks very different now, because you are very different now. The transformation has already kind of happened, or it's about to start happening, because you're finally going to be letting go, and finally going into your emotions to figure out why your manifestation hasn't really come in, or not come in the way that you wanted to, or not come in the way that you thought it would look like. There's a sense of disappointment here, but it's important and necessary, because you're going into your feelings to figure out what's up here, and figure out why, figure out what's wrong here, why this hasn't happened, why this hasn't. It's really like a delay. You're delaying an ending. You're delaying a beautiful transformation that could be happening right now, because you're holding on to something from the past. I feel like you were patiently waiting for someone or something to come back, and you were confident and hopeful that it would, but you were really just delaying the ending of something. You weren't ready to let it go. Can I get a clarification for the moon here for Scorpio? Clarification for the moon here for Scorpio. Clarification for the moon for Scorpio. A lot just fell out, but I feel like I'm going to take this one. King of Cups. It's time to go into your feelings and dig through some of these emotional illusions, because it's time to kind of emotionally mature and like ascend emotionally and become more emotionally stable. But that requires you to kind of dig down beneath the surface, below the surface, in order to dig these things up and figure out why this manifestation has to happen for you. There's definitely some signs of emotional wounding from the past. There's a resisting of an ending. There's this inability to let something go. I know the King of Cups is in you, Scorpio. I know that you have this you are an emotional rock deep down, but I don't think you trust yourself enough. There may be a sense of not being in touch with that part of yourself. There's almost a sense of like self-denial about something here. You're denying how far you've come. You're denying how emotionally moved on from this. Even though you physically may be still holding on to it, you actually have emotionally moved on from it. And when you do realize that you have emotionally moved on from it, that's when you're going to realize that the manifestation has already happened, and the manifestation may just be a new version of yourself. And I think that transformation has already kind of occurred. You're just not recognizing it. You're not giving yourself that credit. Can I get a clarification for the Eight of Wands in reverse here for Scorpio? The Nine of Cups. You're wondering why your wish hasn't come true. You're wondering why your wish hasn't been fulfilled. You're wondering why your manifestation, your dream, hasn't really come into reality, into form yet. It's happening slowly, but I think it's because what your dream and your wish really is, I think you're telling yourself it's one thing, but it's actually another. And the reason it's taking so long is because the universe wants you to realize what your dream and your desire actually is. And that's why whatever this manifestation is hasn't come in, because whatever it is you're manifesting isn't what you actually want. It's what an old version of yourself wanted. It's what an immature version of yourself wanted. It's what an old version of yourself who was just holding way too tightly to the past and couldn't let go. That's what they wanted. It's not what you want now. There's some emotional turmoil that needs to be worked through to figure this out, to realize this, to realize that you need to heal something and move on. And whatever it is you're manifesting, it's not going to come to you because it's in the past now, and you just got to move on from it. You got to let it go because there's new things on the horizon, but you're not moving toward it yet. There's new manifestations to be had, but you're not there yet. There's a transformation that's occurred within you and you haven't even realized it yet. I think it's time for you to realize it. And with that, you're going to realize your new desires, your new dreams and goals for yourself. What you actually want to manifest and bring in for yourself. I think the universe is almost trying to protect you, where you're trying to manifest someone back from the past and the universe keeps blocking you and you're like, what the fuck? Why isn't it coming in? Because you're not supposed to have it. It's not for you anymore. It's in the past and you're just not letting it go, Scorpio. And I'm not trying to drag you. This is just so stereotypically Scorpio. Like, I know so many Scorpios like this, where it's like they hold on to the past forever until they finally just learn to just fucking let it go, because it's so much easier to let it go than to keep holding on to it. I feel like you're going to feel a weight off your shoulders when you finally do let it go. And you heal some emotional wounding too. Can I get a clarification for the Nine of Cups in reverse here for Scorpio? Clarification for the Nine of Cups in reverse here for Scorpio. The Four of Cups. Yeah, there's this sense of like feeling so disappointed and like, oh fuck, I put in all this time and energy, this thing isn't coming through, what do I do now? It's like, well, I don't know how to move on from this or even conceptualize wanting something else, because this is what I wanted. And so underneath the surface, there's this like, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want to move on. I want to stay attached to this person. No, I don't want to meet new people. I want this person from the past. No, I'm not emotionally open and ready for new things in the future. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to kind of be vulnerable or open myself up to that. There's this resistance. There's this emotional resistance. There's this emotional resistance to letting this transformation happen, letting the past go, letting old versions of yourself die, letting these emotions come to the surface so that you can kind of work through them and heal some of this emotional wounding. There's this resistance to the universe trying to tell you that whatever it is you're manifesting isn't for you and you gotta let it go, but you're like, no, I'm set on this. There's like this almost stubbornness, which is very Scorpio again. There's this unwillingness to let go of this disappointment that this never came through or isn't coming through, this thing from the past isn't coming back to you. There's this like, I'm disappointed and I'm going to stay disappointed and just beat myself up over this and dwell on it forever. I'm not going to let it go. I don't want to move on to something else. I don't want to desire something else. I wanted what I wanted. It's an inability to let go. It's an inability to open yourself up to new things. It's an inability to be vulnerable even with yourself in order to heal this and move on from the past. Because I know the King of Cups is in there within you. You just really have to do some soul searching and some emotional digging, which I know is really hard for you to do. It's hard for Scorpios to even be vulnerable with themselves. but it looks like you really have to, because it may provide a lot of healing here. It may allow you to finally move on from the past and realize how transformed you are, or kind of usher in this new transformational period. It's almost like you've been resisting it. Let's pull 3 cards of advice for you, Scorpio. Can I get 3 cards of advice? Can I get 2 cards of advice for Scorpio? Can I get 2 more cards of advice here for Scorpio? Wow. Can I get 2 cards of advice? 1 more card of advice here for Scorpio? Can I get 1 more card of advice here for Scorpio? 1 more card of advice here for Scorpio. Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords in reverse, the 2 of Swords, and the Judgment reversed. All right, Scorpio. The 9 of Swords in reverse is telling me it's really time for you to let go of this pain. I feel like you've been dwelling and sitting in this mental agony for a long time. You've been so hung up on this. You've been stuck on this. You've been letting this hurt you and trip you up and leave you anxious, keep you worried. Something that's been keeping you up at night. It's like, I really feel like it's something to do with not being able to move on from the past, not being able to let shit go. I really feel this sense of like whatever these negative emotions here are, like this stubbornness, this disappointment, this impatience, this emotional wounding. It's something that you really can't let go of, and it's something that's really been mentally bothering you and stressing you out and leaving you really exhausted from all the mental energy it takes to hold on to this. It's really time to let it go. It's just time to let it go. With the 2 of Swords, it's time to make a choice. It's time to choose to let it go. It's time to choose yourself. It's time to choose to move on from the past. It's time to choose to let go of this manifestation because it's obviously not coming through from you. Choose to let go of the past. Choose yourself. Choose to move on from this. Choose a new dream to manifest, a new goal to manifest, a new fulfillment or wish or desire to manifest. Choose to open yourself up to something new because you are a new person. Choose to see your transformation and give yourself credit for your transformation. You have changed, and you need to recognize that and honor that within yourself. And that will be a tool to help you move on from the past. Choose to move on from the past because that's choosing yourself and your overall happiness. Choose to let go of this shit. The Judgment reverse is almost telling me that you've been ignoring signs from the universe that it's time to let go of a lot of this shit. Maybe there's a little bit of like self-judgment here where you've really been beating yourself up over this because it's really hard for you to move on from the past. It's been really difficult to endure this and to be tripped up over whether or not a manifestation is coming in, or whether or not something is changing, or whether or not something's, coming back from the past. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like beating yourself up and judging yourself for not being able to do this. But again, when you recognize your transformation, it's gonna feel really beautiful, and I think that's something that you gotta give yourself credit for and take pride in and admire about yourself, and that's gonna ease some of that self-judgment. But I'm also getting that there's this call from the universe to move on from this that you've been kind of ignoring. You've been ignoring these signs from the universe that it's time to move on. It's time to start listening to the universe. I think it has some things to say to you. Okay, Scorpio, I love you. Be nice to yourself. Don't hold on to the past forever. It only holds you back from becoming who you're supposed to be. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Scorpio. I really hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing this for you. This wasn't really what I expected, but it definitely made a lot of sense. If you got anything out of this, please leave comments down below. I love when you guys talk to me and tell me about how this resonated with you. It really makes me feel nice because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you. So if any of this resonated with you, please leave comments. I'd really love to hear about it. Again, in my description box, you can find my email. If you want to schedule a personal reading with me, just reach out. You can find my Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow. You can find those Spotify playlist links, and you can find my PayPal link if you want to donate. Scorpio, I love you guys so much. Have a good March. Take some time for yourself. Do this healing. And I hope that you feel better and start to see how much you've changed and grown and how beautiful that is. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next reading.